Today I want to talk to you about resonance and resonance fields. Now, this is something you know about, but probably not under this name. Resonance is just the term that the science and the technicians use. And let me just give you an example of resonance from your everyday life. You've got a radio in your car and you switch it on and you twiddle the tuning knob until you pick up the signal from the radio sender that you want to listen to. That means your receiver is in resonance with the transmitter, and so you hear the sounds that the transmitter is sending. That doesn't mean that all the other transmitters in your area have suddenly stopped sending. It just means that you've established a resonance with one of them, and that's why you hear nothing from the others. But if you twiddle it so that it's between two senders, then you hear both. It's tuning. Anyway, there's also other examples. I mean, there's this idiom, birds of a feather flock together. It's just, an observation that flocks of birds flying are all the same species. I mean, when have you ever seen an ostrich flying south with the geese? It just doesn't happen. It's only the geese fly in geese flocks. And whatever energy patterns you hold will establish a resonance outside of yourself. So people, let's take an example of young people who maybe have just left school and have got no job, and they club together in gangs because they all have a similar belief system about themselves and about the world, so that brings them together. People who go to the same church, they have similar belief systems, similar expectations, and that brings them together. This is totally natural. It's the way the universe actually works, the way the universe is structured. So whatever beliefs you hold within yourself, you will see them manifest outside of yourself. So if you have a belief system that says money is hard to come by, you will manifest always having just a little bit of money, never quite enough. If you have a belief that says, I cannot be loved, then you'll always be looking for the perfect partner and never finding him or her, because you cannot go into resonance with him or her when you hold the contradictory belief. The contradictory belief can only bring you into resonance with people who don't want to love you. You see? So, this is why you should start looking in detail about your basic beliefs. I mean, as you push these out, you'll see some of them, but don't get involved with them. Just notice them, and then notice what effect they have had upon your life through resonance. Begin to grasp the principle. What you believe is what you create. And it's not as an act of creation as such, God created the world. It's just resonance. Like attracts like. So whatever you transmit, you can only contact a receiver on the same wavelength. You see? So if you, for example, as a woman had an abusive father, your expectations would be men are abusive, so you only go into resonance with abusive men. If your mother was abusive, like mine was, for years I had endless problems always going into contact with abusive women. Okay, I resolved that problem, and now I have a totally wonderful partner who thinks the way I do, the way I've always wanted to. And, she makes my life a dream. And this anyone can achieve just by looking at your thoughts and deciding, do I really want to maintain that? Or can I change it? And it really is, do I want to? Not am I allowed to? You can change any belief you like because they belong to you. They're your beliefs. It may well be that somebody else told you to believe this, but that doesn't mean you have to continue believing it. If you recognize that it is not true, not in accord with reality, it's your right to change it. So, I'll leave you with this lesson now, and in a little while, we'll go on to number 8. Thank you. Namaste.